It is. It's just like, it's amazing how it changes over the years.
I was just checking. I don't have a tendency.
All right.
Set his alarm. There. I can't say. Let's read again here. Morning, David.
Good morning, David.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. So I'm going to ask for a motion to go back into session.
So moved.
I'll call the question. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I see David raise his hand.
I said aye also.
Okay, sorry, you were mute. I couldn't hear you.
I mumbled.
Okay, so we will get started this morning. We are ready to review and check in, and our facilitator, Warren Miller, will lead us through that exercise.
Sure, thank you. So good morning, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and just share our screen for today. We can do that. And it does not look like I'll be able to do that.
I need to move you, Warren. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. All right, I get the power of being a panelist here. Okay, so yesterday we began by going through and giving you a chance to just talk about your own why and why you're drawn to public service, your experience, your story. You spent time getting an update on the year in review, your goals, how you've been doing, how you can think about operational efficiency for you as a council, and then you walked through your financial update. And have to say that one of the exciting pieces of news yesterday is that Salisbury has a new citizen, and so we wanted to go ahead and maybe if we could share the newest Salisbury citizen.
Sweet.
So after Wade delivered his financial update, he was proud to welcome a new grandbaby into his family. So
Congratulations, Wade.
Congratulations, Wade.
very exciting. So the trajectory is that you're building out your 2022 set of priorities. You're getting briefed on different aspects of the department's goals, and you heard about your human resource needs, your DEI needs, your community safety. And today we're going to be turning the corner and talking a lot more about community growth and the different aspects. And this is all going to help you build your priorities. So as we're going through the conversation today, we're going to be capturing what you see as your goals and priorities for 2022. We're going to capture these. At the end of the day, you'll have a chance to take a look at these and really make sure, are we capturing what you want to be your 2022 goals? And we'll spend some time at the end of the day working through that. The other piece of work that we're going to do today is to do a prioritization exercise. And I put this up on the in the room here. There are a set of capital projects, and you're going to go through an exercise, again, building off of what you've been hearing from staff today and around growth and some of the needs. You're going to go through an exercise where you're going to do some prioritization of those capital projects. So we're going to keep this up here so that during the breaks you can take a look at this, and that'll be one of our final exercises today. So wanted to just keep that in front of everybody. Where we're headed is priorities in terms of your capital projects and other policy priorities that you have. And I think just the last point is to see if you had any reflections as you listened and reflected on what was discussed yesterday, what was presented by staff, the conversation that you had. Just wanted to give you a moment before we get into the presentations. You know, we when we sleep, our brain is still working. We're still working through things. So just as we get started with the day, wanted to see if you had any takeaways, any reflections, anything you wanted to share from what you learned yesterday. So I wanted to open it back up to the council.
Thank you. So, council, any epiphanies last night? Result of all we heard yesterday.
Well, it was nice to hear, like, the bullet point update of what we've done, because when you're in the middle of doing it, you kind of lose track or you forget some projects, so it was nice to see that. Obviously, we're no different than any other municipality in the country with some challenges that we're going to face, but being able to acknowledge those challenges and to see what staff has presented so far, how they're aware of that, what they're working to try to be creative around getting around those, just makes me feel even more confident as we go into the 2022 budget. That's the most important thing we do. And just to be able to see their optimism, but realism at the same time. So I'm excited to see the other staff departments today.
I guess my takeaway was that it was interesting to see how that, as we heard the information, that it helped to sort of focus us on the top priorities about what are the opportunities and where can we spend money that is most important. And I think we saw that around Parks and Rec and public safety, that those affect our community, and the way we spend those monies are the key point for every community across the country, and that's public safety. And I think that it became clear that we need to reinvest. And we've always done that over time when we've had, whether we call it a crisis or whether we call it, the effect of the pandemic and all of the fallout around that. That's a focus for me. And, I was in my mind so excited about spending money on capital improvements. But it's really, really relevant that we spend the money on the staff and the resources that can help us with those areas.
I think for myself, you get caught up in day-to-day stuff, and there's so many different things that it was nice to have different individuals come on and pinpoint some of the things, the key things that they see. It's not everything, there's more things, but they've pinpointed the key things, and it makes you realize, oh yeah, I didn't, there's something I didn't think about, or there's something else like the hiring, just trying to make sure that, people, what can we do to keep people? What is the ability that, why aren't people wanting to fill these jobs? What's the difficulties? And breaking it down where parks and the police department to see how they can work together and do stuff. There's some things that came about that kind of give you a vision of what could be possibly be done, and draw you back into those most important things. So that's what I took from it.
I had two takeaways. One, I just had a sense that, drawing from the world of appreciative inquiry, when you look back and see what's the best of what we've done. I had a sense of that yesterday, a collective sense of that, and the second takeaway was I just sensed a sense of, although we're in the middle of a pandemic, dealing with the challenges that we're dealing with, there seems to be a sense of openness to innovation and creativity around these issues, recognizing like we're not the only ones that are struggling right now or being challenged as a city, but this is a shared like across the region and the state and the country, but an opportunity to adapt and to be creative and innovative in light of our challenges. And so I just sense that openness across the departments yesterday when people give their views.
I want to give you a chance to
Sure.
share any
I have
thoughts
a
on
third comment. The two things I was hit with was how interrelated everything is, how Parks and Rec and public safety and, planning, and the budget. I mean, it's all, everything touches each other. I mean, there's no one thing that stands all by itself. And I'm very impressed with how well our staff works together, and the quality of the people that we have working for us. I'd like to point out that, that always hits me when we go through our annual review. And, uh, consent agenda, a lot of those things that we do. And so we've got to keep our eyes open, when when the consent agenda comes along, say, the consent agenda decides all through that. I've been pretty, and everyone says, if you see a big number right there, let's, you vote on it, because not necessarily a presentation on it. And so the other thing I wanted to point out is that I got some communication last night and this morning from Richard Reinholz at the YMCA, who's a number of other cities have partnerships, with the state. I mean, with their cities, and with their Parks and Rec department and their public safety departments. And some cities, such as Harrisburg, are building joint facilities. In other words, so the city and the Y are partnering not only just programming, but also in facilities. So, and he, wanted to just let us know he's ready, well aboard there. That Y's got roughly 10,000 members. About a little over 20% of them are on scholarship because of where the Y is located. It's over 2,200 people are on full scholarship. We're the only YMCA in the North Carolina that offers 100% scholarships. So, this gives kids a place to go, something to do, and keeps them off the street.
So with that, I'll turn it over to Brian to walk us through the overview for today's agenda.
Thank you, Warren. Today, we're going to talk a lot about growth. And I've been your interim now for almost a month. And I would say the biggest change I've seen since I was here 3 years ago is in the growth that's occurring now in Salisbury and outside of Salisbury. And I think that you can look at its benefit.